Hello and welcome to the Business Show podcast here on Radio Newark 107.8 FM and across DAB. I'm Simon Gabitas, I'm one of your hosts, and I'm joined again by Mr. Michael Hardy. It's October. Hello, Michael. How are you doing?
Hi, Simon. I'm really good, thank you. October is here. Autumn well and truly in the house.
On the way.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's good. It's good. October's a great month. I love October.
It's the month actually where it starts to get a bit darker for our breakfast meetings.
Yes.
Potentially rain might be on the way, and you're usually down at the front of the YMCA greeting people.
I will be wrapped up in my sou'wester and
with your high-vis vest on.
High-vis vest on. I need a bigger size at this time of year to fit over all my coats, not because I've put any fat on for the winter, just to put that right. But yes,
but you've still got a smile on your face as always.
Of course, it's great to see so many people arriving, excited about our business club meetings.
What I can tell you is there's loads of people have already booked online, which is great. So yeah, it's already looking like it could be another busy breakfast meeting and lots of new names. It's the one thing I keep looking out for as I start looking at the registrations, and I go, yeah, I'm not sure I know that person and that person. So we do hear that there's lots of recommendations, so that's always good.
You should be stood out the front trying to recognise those people who sort of, have been before and not, and, new guests and what have you. So it is quite funny.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, we'll make sure we get a hot drink down to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so I've gone from sometimes I get none, sometimes I get two.
So we're trying to exceed expectations this time.
Yeah, I think Emma and I just multitasked and you had a row.
Sounds like a great plan.
Yeah, I was bouncing. By the time the 1 minute bit, I was bouncing.
I like it. So I guess in terms of the October meeting, if you are in the car driving over and listening to this at the moment, we should be talking about what's happening, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we start that, Vicky's already sort of chirped in, as Vicky does, which is great. And so welcome Vicky Cozens, who's one of our committee members.
Absolutely. Well, again, it was a great opportunity to have Vicky with us. We're going to be talking later on about the Community Awards, talking about Newark and Sherwood District Council, and I'm hoping that you might help me with the business quiz as well.
Can't promise.
We'll give it a go.
Welcome to the show, Vicky. Good to have you.
Thank you.
So coming up today on this month's podcast, we've got last month's meeting highlights, the Business Show Big Quiz, which I know everybody looks forward to. We've obviously got Vicky and the Community Awards. We've then got Grants for You, provided by the Grant Man. Jingle to come. Who Gives a Book, Action Group Update, a bit about the May meeting, and then a few words to finish.
Excellent.
So as ever, busy show, and hope everybody gets a bit of interesting, informative information from it, and maybe a few laughs along the way.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, last month's highlights, Simon. What happened last month at the meeting?
So, like we said, it was another busy meeting. So Roving Mike is kind of getting up to about 20 minutes now, but it's always good. It's a great opportunity to find out who's in the room, who you can connect with, and who you can maybe go and have a bit of a chat with during the break. We were sponsored by Exposure Creative, so we heard from Nigel Lamb. And again, quite an interesting talk he did. So very much he wanted to keep it on the idea of an informative talk.
Yep.
Looked at AI, looked at tech, and actually looked at it in a kind of real life way of how he's used it.
Yes.
And what was quite nice, he brought it back to the end and talked about a camera that he bought using AI prompts and ideas, and actually then brought the camera out and took a picture of the room from the front. So it was a nice little journey that we went on over that kind of 15-minute presentation, and great to hear about kind of some of the stuff that they're up to.
And that has inspired me to use AI to look for items since then.
Interesting.
So,
but again, I suppose he went with the view that, a lot of people talk about AI, and then we immediately talk about ChatGPT, talk about actually some of the basic prompts that we're looking at, but actually to use it as, he was almost, referring it to, a little friend, start
absolutely.
And having that conversation with it. But certainly chat to Nigel at the meeting if you want some ideas about how he's using that, how he's used it in a kind of real life way. But an informative talk. Which is great. And lots of people making notes, which is always nice to see. Table networking, so 60 seconds around the table, bit of an opportunity to find out about some of the businesses that are in the room. And like I said earlier on, we're seeing more and more new people visit, so it's great to meet and connect with new people. And as we always say, it's not always just the people in the room, it's people outside the room, it's their connections they might link you to. So great opportunities there. Member Spotlight, we had Chris from Prospero Mediation.
Yep.
He gave us a bit of an idea about who they are. So it's a 2-minute spotlight which we put in, just an opportunity. And again, this month we've got the guys over at Newark Showground that are going to do that. And then who gives a book? So we gave away a book. In fact, we gave a book away. No, we gave a book away, and then so the original book with this one, it was a book which I'll mention in a bit called Maverick, and the original copy that was given to us, we actually gave it back to the person that gave it to us in the first place because I felt like he needed it.
It was signed, wasn't it?
I think it'd been also given by his original boss, but
right,
we'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, so we gave a book away. We gave Maverick away. Not the Top Gun thing, but the 1993 book. And yeah, very busy meeting again. Like I say, it's starting to get a bit darker. Starting to potentially see the rain in the morning on the business club meetings. So it's always good to see people still lining up to come and join the meeting.
Absolutely. Well, so much going on, so much to learn, and the insightful. I mean, Nigel's presentation was fantastic. I think when somebody gets up on the stage and it gives you information that helps you and you learn from, that's more powerful than just the story of sell from the business perspective. So really, really positive.
And I did catch up with Nigel this week. We're talking about Nigel. We're going to have Nigel actually on the podcast next month. Talking about some website stuff. But again, he actually said he was quite nervous beforehand, wasn't sure what to expect, but he's now got that first-hand experience. So I think it's stuff like that we probably need to share with other people in the room because, often people, don't necessarily want to go and do that. But the way that he delivered that, he came across as a subject matter expert. He wasn't overselling. He didn't have to kind of, have all the bells and whistles. He just delivered what he knew.
Yes.
And I think he came across very well.
He did.
Good stuff.
So really, really good meeting last month, and we'll talk about this October meeting at the end of the show. But now it's time for the Business Show Big Quiz.
We definitely need a jingle for that at some point.
You do,
Okay, all right. We'll work on that. Phil, help us.
Okay, so we've got 3 questions this month. And all, I obviously think they're interesting. I don't think they're that tough, but we'll find out shortly. Are we both ready? Question number 1.
Go for it.
Question number 1. We've discussed inflation and its impact on both our customers, businesses, and personal life as well. So, the big question this month is around inflation and what is the cheapest, or where is the cheapest pint of beer in the UK?
As in what part of the country, or where can I buy it from?
They've done across the country, all the cities. They've got the average price of a pint of beer in every city in the UK, and where is the cheapest? You won't be surprised to know it's not London.
No.
So London is the most expensive at £6.83.
I thought it'd be more than that,
The place that's the cheapest is £3.68.
Wow.
But where is it?
I mean, how...
Like Sheffield or somewhere? I'm thinking
no,
like
Sheffield's,
Uniland.
No, but Sheffield's quite, I think, trendy. So I think a bit further north. I think, hang on, we're the whole of the UK, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
England.
Oh, okay.
So it's a city in England.
England, okay.
Oh, I'm giving you.
Well, no, you said UK originally.
I know.
So
well,
I was into
it's
Wales,
helping narrow it
and now
down.
I'm
I am narrowing it down for you to England.
TikTok, Birmingham, maybe further north than that, maybe Grimsby. No, Grimsby Town, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not a beer drinker, although we did do a Guinness price comparison recently, but bears no relevance to me.
Hull is that? I'm going Hull.
Okay.
What do you reckon?
I think you're nearer than I am with Sheffield.
Correct.
No way.
Woo-hoo!
Seriously?
Yeah. Hull, £3.68.
Okay. Right, where are
Nottingham.
we going for a trip after this?
Nottingham is £4.59
Okay.
and Lincoln £4.70.
Interesting.
Wow. Okay.
So cheapest pint.
Michael's surprise face.
No, I'm not. I'm delighted for you.
Okay. I think that's fascinating though, and it does show how things are so different. I mean, £3.68 to what?
£6.83.
£6.83. I mean,
and I can assure you that the breweries will be selling the beer at the same price. They won't be.
No.
They won't be selling it £3 less per pint. Either.
And like I say, I do think that is cheap for London. In fact, and Sheffield, by the way.
Well, it depends where you drink in London. Let's be frank.
Well, maybe,
because you probably go to the touristy, swanky places.
Well, I just don't know some of the other places. That's why. But Sheffield, it just reminds me. It was probably about 6 or 7 years ago, and me and a few friends, we went into a bar in Sheffield, and my friend Stuart, we ordered 3 pints of Peroni. He gave a £20 note, and he put his hand out for the change, and the guy went, "You still owe me £1."
Wowzer.
So yes, the wrong place.
But I mean,
Okay.
One of my thoughts on why that was an interesting conversation is everybody sort of has a view on beer and sort of and actually that difference between 683 and 368 is know your value but know your market.
Yeah.
So people will talk about what your worth is, how much you should be selling things for, but do they understand your market where you are? Because the market can be very different. Because if you open a bar in Hull and you think you can charge £6 a pint, you've got to have a very, very different proposition than the average proposition in there to get that the volume and the sales. So understand, know your value, know your worth, but also know your market. What is your market? What people prepared? What money do they have in their pocket for your service or your product?
Yeah.
Because having businesses in different parts of the country offers different challenges and different opportunities.
But I guess it also comes back to knowing your costs, understanding how that works for your business, because your building in London's going to be more expensive to rent or buy than in Hull. So
absolutely.
Yeah, okay, interesting.
Okay, question number 2. 1 from 1. Here we go.
I don't think you've ever said that.
No, I know. Okay, why has the historic Dutch village of Zansi Shans caused a stir?
I'm really hoping that you have an inkling right now.
No, absolutely not. Why did it cause a stir? Because I don't know. They put some taxes up.
Not far off. So they are charging for people to enter their town £15 from next spring.
Wow.
So it's a very famous tourist place there's a lot of windmills.
Okay.
And the very pretty, colourful windmills are sort of in that area.
Yeah.
And their visitor numbers have gone up from like 1.3 to 2.8 million in about 3 years. So massive increase, and it's putting a lot of pressure on the village and its resources. So what they've decided is that from next spring they're going to charge an entrance fee to the village of £15. I think it's €17.50 per person.
Will they be? I mean, I don't know, but is that the first time this has happened?
It's obviously it's in the news because it's quite a big thing. So
any plans for Newark?
I really hope not. No, definitely not.
Trying to get into the town.
It's for non-residents. So if you're a resident, then obviously
okay,
there's no charge. But for non-residents, it's a way of ensuring that they are able to afford the infrastructure and the money to. Because nobody comes into these places as we know. They leave footprints, don't they? So and while that's positive and you want visitors, if it's having a negative impact. So
interesting. Might be the future
again,
of
I mean, a little bit
towns.
but first, know your value, what, because if you, don't. I always go back to you used to have to dress up in a shirt and tie to go into a nightclub, and you paid to enter, and it's gone very much. The dress sense is very different, dress code is very different, but also paying to get into places isn't what it was. So understanding where your value is, understanding where you can charge people and where you don't charge them, really important. Okay. Question number 3. Final one today. Okay. ID cards have been in the news. Obviously, the government are proposing to have them implemented by the next election, circa 2029, which isn't that far away, meaning nobody will be able to get a job without one, which is quite a big statement. But can you name 3 countries that already have electronic ID cards?
I reckon Australia's probably got one.
Bing.
Does that mean New Zealand would be similar? Oh, okay. Canada?
Bing.
One of the Nordics?
Not on the list.
Holland? Germany?
No.
I mean, it'd be crazy. China?
Yep.
China. Okay.
Yeah, so India, Japan, China, Canada, Australia, Switzerland, South Korea,
Okay.
the UAE, Ukraine, Estonia.
Oh, right. More than I realised.
So they're the ones with electronic ID cards. So
Okay.
so other countries will have sort of ID cards that are paper based or sort of.
Well, it's an
driving
interesting
license
one
based.
because when we start talking about, I think there's a lot of negativity about it at the moment. There's a lot of kind of what's this mean? But actually, if there are that many other countries, which I didn't personally realise, that are already have this in place, and I'm guessing people like Ukraine must have had that in a long time ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then actually, it's worth seeing how that's worked for lots of other countries.
Absolutely. So
okay.
it's
change,
quite a
though.
divisive conversation at the moment, isn't it? In the wonderful world of social media, but yeah, it is already out there. We're not sort of leading a charge as the first country to do this, and so interesting. So you got that right as well.
Well done, Simon.
And there's a danger that if I was being sort of charitable, then saying a tax, well, the charging of entrance is really a sort of tax on entering.
Do you think Michael's a kind of charitable type of person? I think he.
Very much so.
Okay. So I think you've got 3 out of 3 for
Oh
the first
my
time
goodness.
ever. We have a clean sweep.
You said to me earlier on, because I said I'm struggling a bit because with all sorts of stuff going on this last month, I've not spent as much time actually looking at the news.
What did I say?
You went, you probably get 3 out of 3.
Less is more then.
There you
Okay,
go.
no, don't. Let's not go with that. Based on the fact that we've spent a whole bunch of time saying failing to plan is planning to fail, and actually, make sure you know your numbers, make sure you plan everything. Yeah, okay, good.
So brilliant. Well, thank you guys. So that's good. So
Vicky, thank you so much. I wouldn't have got Canada.
Well, thanks for that teeny tiny little bit. I feel like I was a tiny piece of use.
No, absolutely. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that.
So should we talk about the community awards and ask Phil to join us?
As he's here, we should get Phil in.
Absolutely. Come on, Phil.
Get yourself in here. Right, we've got Phil with us now. Hello, Phil. How you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, no, really good. Thank you very much. So we wanted to talk about the Community Awards that was last week. Another fantastic event. Obviously, both of you here. In fact, while we're talking about the Community Awards, we've got obviously. You hosted it again this year, Vicky, with Jamie from Radio Newark.
Did indeed.
You hosted it last year. I hosted it in 2023.
Yeah, we've all had a go.
Maybe
Apart from that
Michael.
one,
Just the missing link.
Yeah, maybe one year.
Where's he gone?
We'll get him on. So another successful event. I know lots of people are already asking you about next year, but in terms of this year, how many categories did we have, Vicky?
13 categories this year.
13 categories, and I guess that kind of covered so many different things, so many different areas, and lots of different people in Newark. I think for me personally, I know we were all there as well. You were obviously working it. We were just having a beer and social. Yep. But actually, it was so amazing. It's such an amazing event when actually it's people that actually aren't usually recognised or normally recognised. It's great to see people really excited to be involved in something that again, it's people that aren't always recognised in our community. So an amazing event. We talked about the trophies. So talk to me, because I know there's a story behind those trophies.
There is. So for the last few years, we have worked in partnership with Newark College because the priority of the awards is to support as many local businesses or activities, talents that we have locally. So we are very blessed with Newark College and their incredibly talented students. So this year, we did have a felled oak tree from Sherwood Heath, so it is in our district.
Okay.
And we thought, you know what better way to repurpose it is to create those trophies. And Isaac from the college did create them, and they are incredible.
Yeah, no, they look brilliant. I saw some of the trophies. Well, I saw a number of the trophies. Obviously, we gave one out from the business club's perspective. But the other thing that's worth mentioning, Isaac, Paul, all the team over at Newark College were involved in helping us create some new table signs for the business club as well. That was a project I know we've kind of talked about for a while, and we wanted to kind of create more of a sustainable table sign for the business club. Also one that wasn't going to get damaged as easily as we kind of move them about. But actually, Isaac was involved in that. So yeah, I can't believe how young. I think 16, 17 years old, that chap. But I think hopefully he's got a bright future ahead of him. So no, that was a nice little link. And I know they've used a lot of. I think there were some trees in the college a few years ago. They used for the business awards. So they like to try and keep it sustainable and reuse some of those. How many people did we have?
Just short of 300 attended this year, so yeah, absolutely fantastic turnout. What was quite interesting is some of the award winners who obviously were invited to attend as award winners didn't know who had nominated them until the videos played.
Oh, no way.
So that was quite an interesting kind of take this year. So.
Oh no, that is nice, and I guess it's that surprise element that's always good. But yeah, no, chatting to lots of different people that won awards. Worth mentioning, obviously, Newark Business Club did support and sponsor the Business Commitment to the Community Award. So we were proud to give that to the team over at Bakkavor, who've done a whole bunch of stuff not just this last year, but done lots of stuff within our community. I think Kerry, some of the team from Bakkavor will be in the Friday, October business club meeting, and hopefully they're going to bring the award with them as well, so we can give them a shout out as well.
Absolutely. I mean, they're very well known for coming in force with cakes to support a huge amount of charities, community events, the business club at times, but also what many people aren't aware of is they have raised over £200,000 that have gone towards local charities as well with their initiatives, so huge shout out to them.
Yeah, I mean that's more impressive than the lemon eclairs that they make actually, but, which are very good. But having been involved in the Robin Hood Half Marathon at the weekend, they actually brought. So there was 3 forerunners I think from Bakkavor, and they brought cakes again with them. So we're all looking at them at kind of 7-8 o'clock in the morning, going, no, let's wait for later. But luckily there was some by the time we got home as well, or by the time we got back from the run. So next year. Is it happening?
It certainly will be. I mean, we have had a phenomenal year this year, and just to reiterate, it is a not-for-profit event. So
sure.
anything that we do bring in sponsorship does go towards charities. So we were so delighted this year to donate £1,500 to the Newark Mayor's Trust from any additional profits made from the awards. So it is self-funded each year. It is a challenge, as we all well know, but it will most definitely be happening again.
Yeah, certainly lots of work for you guys. But yeah, another successful event, another event for the community, another way that businesses can get involved as well, because again, all those awards were supported by businesses and sponsors. So for us, it was great to kind of be in the room with other business people as well and have some good, meaningful business conversations, which was always good.
Yeah, it's inspiring, isn't it? You know, what you see there is people who are doing a lot of work behind the scenes, not being paid for it, purely out of their desire to make Newark a better place for its residents and its community, which is fantastic. So just very, very inspiring from that perspective.
Yeah, and I think obviously Radio Newark very much involved in that, and you're a big supporter, big sponsor, and partner of that event as well. Not only from the host.
It's really important for us to be right in the centre of it, and obviously we're a not-for-profit business as well. We couldn't afford to underwrite the whole thing ourselves, although we did once, I think, and it was a twitchy moment where you're thinking, I hope we get enough money in to pay for this. But for us, if we were to underwrite it ourselves, it's half our turnover in the year to do one event. Sure. So it's too big for us, and I think that's where the partnership with the council works exceptionally well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But you guys are obviously still involved in hosting it, still involved in the after party disco.
It's always fun, that, yes. Always a laugh.
It's I think Craig and Jamie were having the time of their lives on those laptops at the back of the room.
Oh yeah, well yes, it's like they were hidden in the corner. I think it was their disco, to be honest. I don't think it was anybody else's disco. I think it was just theirs.
Yeah, no. When you look at the choice of music, it was definitely Craig and Jamie's music library coming out there. Yeah. No, it was a fantastic event. So I suppose from a Radio Newark perspective as well. Really grateful for you guys being on board with the business club as a patron sponsor. Always love chatting to you guys and understanding what's happening next. So I suppose in terms of the next kind of couple of months, what's happening over at Radio Newark?
Well, normally in October it's not that busy, as in you have Halloween, but we don't do a lot for it. But this year Newark's going mental for Halloween. Okay. We are Newark and also Spooky Newark have got together, and from the week before Halloween all the way through to just after it, they've got all kinds of events going on, and lots of them are going to be free. So in the marketplace, because it correlates to half term, I think, for most people as well this year. Yeah. It's been quite nice because that entire week of Halloween is going to be full of things for the kids to do, a lot of it for free as well. And on the 31st of October, Halloween itself, the entire day in the marketplace is going to be full of live entertainment. We've got kind of circus skills going on. We're going to have a Halloween disco, which again, unfortunately, it does mean that Jamie's going to be DJing that. So it's
as long
the
as
Monster
there's
Mash
some kind
times
of
a million.
skeleton suit, that'll be all right.
But that's going to be in the town hall, so it's going to be in the ballroom as well. So that's on the Friday night. Then on the Saturday, there's more live entertainment in the marketplace. So we've got live gigs on all the way through the day. I think there's going to also be something going on in the Button Market as well. One of the units that was up until recently quite a large gift shop across the way from Tambo Lounge, they're going to be hosting some special events in there as well, which is going to be good. So, yeah, I think for probably the first time in a while, we're going to see Halloween be very, very interesting in Newark with all these different things going on in the space of 5-6 days. So, yeah, we're right in the centre of that.
Great. No, it sounds exciting. And I know, Michael, we're always kind of talking about how businesses need to link together with some of these events. And actually, it's that kind of foresight of what's happening in the town, businesses linking together and going, okay, so what can I do on the back of that? What offers can I do? How can I entice? There's an audience in the middle of Newark. How do we do that? And I know we're going to touch on retail a little bit when we talk about action group stuff. But it's a great opportunity for people to jump on the back of that and go, right, while you're in town, let's do an offer. Let's do a Halloween special.
Yeah, and because it does, as we say, it does link in with half term for most of our young people as well. They're going to be in town wanting things to do. Parents are going to want things to do that are next to nothing, if not free. Absolutely. Then we put it all together and hopefully people will get something out of it.
Fantastic. And dare I say, I'm sure you guys have probably got a whole bunch of plans coming up for that Christmas.
Yeah, we're just waiting to find out exactly what they are, but when we do, we'll let you know.
But lots of exciting stuff that's coming up, obviously.
Yeah, Christmas light switch on is a dead cert. We always like to do that. For the past 3 or 4 years, we've had the community couch within Let's Scape Cafe.
Yep.
I've not spoken to them about it yet, so I feel a bit of a fraud here. We'll do that again. Anthony doesn't know. I'm going to ask him yet, but he tends to like it, so we'll be doing that as well, and hoping that. Hoping that first of all this year we're going to get a Christmas light switch on, because last year we didn't because of the weather. So let's hope we do get something nice.
Okay. The weather forecast is quite important for that day.
It kind of is, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, we joined you on the couch, didn't we? A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I think we had Santa hats on, didn't we?
We did.
We have the evidence somewhere.
That was probably the start of the idea of the podcast, was it? Were we doing the podcast?
It probably was, to be fair.
That was pre-podcast.
Yeah. It was. And we
still came back.
Yeah, we were wearing our Santa hats and we were picking our favourite Christmas records.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. Well, yeah, anyway. I think I mentioned Cliff Richard, didn't I?
You did.
You certainly did.
Well, it was in memory of Granny, actually, so at the time. Yeah. So, I'll stick with that. It's all good. Right, fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us, Phil, this morning. Always great to see you on the podcast and really appreciate all the support that you give us from Radio Newark and the patrons' perspective, and obviously with the podcast as well. And look forward to continuing that sponsorship with you.
Great. Well, if we see you on the Halloween weekend, you may actually, have to look for me very closely, because I might be dressed up as Wednesday from the Addams Family. It happens sometimes.
Fairly normal.
Only on occasions.
We'll see if we can spot you.
If I'm in a dress, you know what's going on.
Only on Thursday.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you very much, Phil. Really appreciate it.
Great stuff. Well, thanks, Phil. That was really interesting and insightful. So, yeah, good.
No, love that event, and I think, like we say, I mean, 2023 when it came back after a bit of a pause, obviously after COVID, but yeah, a great event, and great to have that as part of our calendar every year now.
And the answer's still no for next year.
What? I think Mike will be all right.
There's room for negotiation.
What's next up?
Okay, so grants for the memories. So once again, our friend the Grant Man, Will Parkinson at the council, has sent us through a couple of grants for us to share with our listeners, and also just to showcase that there are lots of grants out there, and Will has the ability to do some searching for you at the council free of charge to try and ensure that you've got every available piece of information that you need to help your business.
And he's working on a bit of an intro soundtrack as well. Yeah,
apparently. As most people will know, me singing is not the thing you want.
We'll wait for Will to send it through.
Yeah. Okay, so the first grant that Will has sent through is a networking grant scheme. So these grants are available to support small-scale events and networking activities that foster collaboration, knowledge sharing, and growth among the creative, digital, and creative technology businesses. The scheme is run by Create Growth N2, provides one-off funding to run events, activities that bring people together, build networks and stimulate innovation in Nottingham and Nottinghamshire. The grants are between £500 and £1,000, depending on the size of the project. Applicants must be registered business, social enterprise, local authority, non-profit or business networking group based in Nottingham or Nottinghamshire. And you've got to have been operating for 6 months.
Okay.
So deadline for application is January 2026, so actually a bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
And the Create Growth N2 website is where you'll find information.
Excellent.
So good little grant there for local networking businesses, etc.
Sounds good. And we've got a second one.
So the second one is the CITB Construction Skills Funding. So the CITB, or the Construction Industry Training Board, is currently offering support to the construction sector through a variety of grants and funds. It's for skills, training provision, and it comes in 2 levels. For small and micro-size employers, it's up to £10,000, and for medium size, it's £25,000. Interest can be expressed at any time through a formal expression of interest. Businesses will need to be enrolled in the CITB. Further details on their website. So construction industry, really important part of the UK economy, and therefore good support there.
Fantastic.
So 2 very different, as usual, grants covering very different areas of business, but really, really positive for networking groups and for construction.
Bro, and as always, when we post this out on our social media channels, we will put the details for Will below in the comments so that you can actually reach out if you've got any questions. But as we always say, they're 2 of many grants that we've obviously, Will's been able to kind of pick out for us. But there is a whole bunch of other things going on behind the scenes. So get in touch with Will and obviously the wider team, and they can point in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. So while we're on council and SDC, and we've obviously got Vicky here,
we can say, what's Will like as a colleague? Do you like him?
Yeah, we sing Disney songs on a Monday.
Is that part of the jingle coming through?
Oh, could possibly say.
No, you've obviously got a great team over there in the economic growth department. I think we've got Neil coming to join us for the October meeting as well, haven't we?
Yes, indeed. So he's business manager for economic growth and visitor economy. So he is mine and Will's boss. Lots to update you on with regards to plans for Newark.
Yep.
Obviously, there's been a huge amount of change with government and what we can bid for funding wise. So Neil will provide a really informative update for everyone.
Amazing. Okay. Well, again, thank you for all of your support with the information that kind of, I know it's we've got from Will, but all the economic growth stuff that you're giving us as well as part of that team, and I know you've been helping Neil with his slides as well this week. And
we do have coming up on the 9th, we've got the economic conference.
Yes, the Economic Growth Conference is at Southall Southwell Racecourse this year, and we also have the Future First Careers Expo in November as well, so it's busy time for us all.
Brilliant.
Brill. And I know we've got, I think, some of your team coming over to talk to the business club in the new year as well, for some of the kind of wider reorganisation. So again, it's great that you guys are able to kind of provide us some of that insight. It's really important for businesses locally that we've got that. So no, thanks again to you and the team for all of that information and support that you can give us.
No, thank you. It's great that we can work alongside each other.
Brilliant. Thank you. Good to see you. Okay, who gives a book?
Me.
What was
Always.
last month's Who Gives a Book?
So the book was Maverick. It's the success behind the world's most unusual workplace. And actually, this book was given to me by Craig Wilkinson.
Yep.
Also off of Radio Newark. And Craig gave it me after a business club meeting, probably about maybe 9-10 months ago. But as he gave it me, he kind of mentioned it was clearly a used copy, and he'd said, my first ever boss gave me this copy. And as he kind of gave it me, I was kind of like, trying to take it off him. And anyway, he gave it me, and shortly after I thought, I can't give that particular book away. So I did originally have a look online, and I was struggling to find it, actually. It's a 1993 book. I found another copy, actually, but I was trying to time it for a meeting that Craig was actually available. So he'd come straight to the business club after a night shift, working a night shift, and I was during the September meeting, I was able to give him his original copy back and give another copy away. But the idea behind the book is it's very much empowering employees. It was workers making decisions, managers being able to set their own salaries and bonuses. So quite an interesting kind of concept, really. Very forward thinking for 1993. Everyone in this company had access to company information and data, so they could actually have input on that. But Semco, which was the centre of this business, was one of the Latin America's fastest growing companies in the end, and it was also acknowledged to be one of the best in Brazil to work for. So it obviously worked. We can see, certainly since 1993, we've seen more examples of this style in businesses, but certainly, when that book was written, it was very, very interesting in the way that it was working with employees to empower people to make their businesses help them grow. Yeah.
Now you just have to ask ChatGPT what your boss is on, and it'll tell you. So.
Not quite, but no, really interesting book, and I was delighted to give Craig his copy back as well, because it had been sat in my car for quite a few months as well.
Brilliant. Okay, quick action group update.
Yeah.
So there was quite a lot last month. Since then, if you go back to what the action group is all about, which is trying to make Newark best for business, trying to be that conduit between different authorities and local SMEs who are wanting to have a voice or wanting to at least understand what's going on in the town. I was delighted to be contacted by the Newark Advertiser and Eloise, one of their journalists, who wanted to talk to me about retail in the town and get my views. And I think I've said on a few occasions, if you want my opinion, I'll always give it to you, and if you don't want it, you'll probably get my opinion anyway. But that's fine. But the reality is, my role in the action group is that conduit about bringing people together, and I didn't think it was right that I give my opinion on retail, because that's not my day to day. I obviously work with the retailers quite closely, but I'd felt that bringing retailers to Eloise and creating a meeting where she could get some feedback direct would be the best way. And we did that. We had a meeting. Paul at London Eye very kindly hosted us. We got 8 or 9 of our local retailers in the room. And once Eloise had realised that the first question she'd asked slightly wrong, and therefore she got a bit of a barrage from the guys, which was quite interesting. And I spoke to Sharon, the editor, the other day, and we were sort of chuckling that make sure you ask the right question, because it gets perceived the right way or the wrong way. But once we got sort of over that initial hump, which was you could see Eloise's eyes go, oh my God, and what have you. But then once we sort of got everybody on track, we had a really good, probably hour, 90 minutes discussion about how they felt, what they were looking for, what they, about who comes to their shops, about locals versus out-of-towners and all of this sort of thing. and that was probably about a month ago, and the article's actually in this week's Advertiser. So if you're coming to the business club listening to this, if after the business club you go and buy the Advertiser, you will see an article with I would think it'd probably be on a page, and it'll have lots of photos, because she, after the event, went and took photos of the retailers who were involved. And I think it's a really positive article, but also, challenges us as local residents to make sure we use the town and use the great small businesses that we have in there. So,
absolutely. But it reads really well anyway. I said it is also available.
It's been online.
Online, so worth checking that out.
But I think, in a small way, it highlights and showcases what the action group is about bringing people together to get the voice out there in a bigger way than they could do on their own.
And I think, what you did, is absolutely brilliant. I think getting people together, but I think, that's also, it feels like, that could be the start of something that could be a bit more regular, whether or not, once a year or however often it might be, but getting some of those retailers together to talk, because the reality is that those, and we've said it before, the independent retailers have got very similar challenges,
Absolutely.
And, we talked, we go back to COVID, but we talk about actually when you used to host some stuff, but it was that moment where people go, oh, it's not just me, oh, you had that same issue, or, and we can talk, excuse me, we can talk about it, and we can talk about the solutions as well.
Are you all right there?
I can't talk. I'm getting emotional, Michael. But we can talk about, I suppose, the challenges and the opportunities together.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that, the reality of running a business is that there are so many of the similar issues. It's, we talk about knowing your value, we talk about knowing your profit, we talk about people, all of these things. It's why books sell in their millions, because actually when people read them, from big businesses to small businesses, there is a thread that runs through that is very similar. So when you get retailers, people in the same sector in the same town, shock horror, their issues are very similar. So it's good for them to hear that, and it's good then for the advertiser in this instance to be able to articulate that in a way that hopefully local people read it and go, oh yeah, maybe that is something I can do to make this a better place, and maybe I can add a bit of value to that in by once a month even just going into the town and thinking a bit more before I spend my money in other areas. So
and I think it's well timed as well. I think heading towards Christmas,
exactly,
very important time for independent retailers in this town. We talked earlier on, obviously with both you and Phil, about the events that are happening in the town and how retailers can link to that. We've got the Halloween stuff coming up. We'll have the Christmas light switch on. And these are very much events where if you're a retailer, make sure you're open for a start.
Absolutely.
If you've got thousands of people, the light switch on, how many people does that bring into Newark? With tens of thousands.
Usually between 4,000 and 6,000 quite comfortably.
Right, okay. And that's just for that afternoon.
Yeah.
So I know it's a Sunday, and I know lots of shops might not necessarily always be open, but that's the day to be open, right? When you've got people on your doorstep. And we've talked about, the idea of, pivoting, and, it might even be the time to go, right, let's put a few products in the shop window that we don't usually sell, but we know we can on that day. So
absolutely,
it's about kind of linking it all together. So no, I like that. It's,
so that was really positive. Yeah, absolutely. So grab your advertiser and read the article if you've not got it online.
Good stuff. And action group in terms of your meetings?
Yeah, we're meeting, so we'll confirm the next meeting date. There's a couple of people not available with one thing and another, so I'll go through my normal channels.
Okay.
But we'll have a meeting at the back end of October as usual.
Fantastic stuff. Great.
Brilliant. So this month's meeting, what's going on this month? Who's presenting? Who's sponsoring?
So we've got Links and Knots Air Ambulance. So
Excellent.
We've got Joe and the team coming over, and I actually saw them present over at Lincoln Business Club, our friends over at Lincoln. I think they're going to do something quite similar. I think they're going to actually have a real life kind of example of people that have benefited from.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
service.
helicopter.
Definitely not. But tell you what though, those helicopters are expensive. Not to kind of spoil anything, but like that one that we see around Newark, the big yellow heli, £10 million. £10 million, and I think the one that they're trying to get a second helicopter up in the air at the moment, and I think that's again another £7-8 million worth of
Oh, so they're buying a cheap one this time.
Slightly smaller, I think. There's obviously a reason behind it, but yeah. So no, we're going to hear from their team. Table networking as usual. So your 60 seconds around the table, get a chance to speak to other businesses. Who gives a book? We've got at least one book that we're going to be giving away this month. We talked about the update from Neil Cattell over at Newark and Sherwood District Council, so looking forward to what Neil's got to say. And again, this is part of what we'd kind of agreed. We were having maybe a couple of updates a year, so we had one earlier on in the year. Obviously heading out to the back end of the year, we'll find out some of the updates happening in and around our town, which is great. The member spotlight, like I mentioned, Newark Showground, we're going to hear from them. So they were picked out last month. They're going to get a couple of minutes, just a bit of an extension of the table network in 60 seconds, if you like. And we're going to hear from them, and then we'll pick someone else that's in the room to be the next month. We've also got the charity draw.
Yes.
So we run a regular charity draw. We've got, I think, 22 charities. And this was our way of fairly kind of picking charities to come and present to us. Lots of stuff going on, lots of connections, as we know, from the community awards with charity and business. So we're going to pick 3 charities out this month, and they will all get 3 minutes each to present in our November meeting. And at the end of that meeting, they'll also, the winner, which will be picked by the people in the room that day, will also get a monetary donation to the charity. So
brilliant.
Lots going on, actually.
Lots going on. Well, that brings us to the end of the podcast.
End of the podcast. So it's Jerry Springer time. What's the what was it? The thought of his
the thought for the day.
Thought of the day.
Okay, so want to finish with: if you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way.
Like it.
Yeah, so think about that when you're out there. If everything you do, no matter how small, you're doing in a great way, you're making a difference.
Absolutely.
I like that one.
So,
that's going on
really
LinkedIn.
enjoyed this month as ever. Vicky, Phil, thank you very much. Simon,
thank
as
you so
ever,
much.
thank you.
And we got 3 out of 3 on the quiz.
There you go.
Oh,
You've set a standard
I hope
now.
we get a certificate, Vicky.
You set a standard.
Right, thank you very much all. We'll see you next month.
All the very best.
Bye for now.